we talk about stress and we talk about anxiety. What is, in my mind, is there? I didn't even know there was a difference. I thought they were the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, what is the difference between anxiety and stress?
Okay. Anxiety is fear of the unknown.
Okay.
So let's take COVID as an example.
Yeah.
So we're anxious because we don't know what's happening tomorrow. The fear of tomorrow. So on the 27th or 26th of March last year, we had the level 5 lockdown. It was supposed to be for 4 weeks or 5 weeks. I'm not quite sure.
He said 21 days, actually.
Oh, 21 days?
Yeah.
Right. So that's fine. So we say, fine, 21 days. But after 21 days, it gets prolonged. So people become anxious because you don't know. You know, then there's talk about losing jobs. The economy's going down the tube. So
But
that's anxiety.
Is that anxiety of
because not knowing what is happening. But there's also different types of anxiety, because anxiety can also lead to phobias. Okay. And post-traumatic stress comes from anxiety as well.
Is that a phobia?
It's the phobia, yeah.
Sure.
Okay. And can I give you an example of that?
Yeah.
Okay. So a life example that I experienced was in the late 90s, my wife was working for a company. She was assistant manager. And they got held up by gunpoint. And she was thrown on the floor with everybody else and guns pointed to their head. And she then left that company. And I was working in the corporate environment at that stage. And I was doing business in Cape Town. And she had changed jobs. And she was working in Craighall. And I was in Cape Town. And I got this phone call. And she phoned me. And she says, I can't move. She was on the highway and she pulled off.
Yeah.
And that was post-traumatic stress because she never dealt with the trauma that took place when they were held up.
Sure.
Yeah.
I actually had to phone 2 colleagues where I was working to actually go and fetch her and drive her car back.
Sure.
And that
So
was
that
caused
affected her physically.
Physically.
Oh.
And that's what we call panic attacks.
Oh. Okay.
Sure.
And panic attacks is different to different people. Now, if I can just go...
Does anxiety lead to a panic attack?
Very definitely.
Okay.
Very definitely. Now, for example, I have a colleague, Francesca Meredith. She's been dealing... And you see, let me go back one step. Anxiety and panic attacks is no respect of person or age.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was dealing, and this person passed away, unfortunately, last year of COVID, but she was dealing with a 70-year-old man who was an MD of a company who was suffering from panic attacks and anxiety.
So, Pastor Clive, anxiety, how do I know? That's why I asked Mac in the beginning of this episode. You know, we're talking about anxiety and stress, and I want to know, from my point, how do we know what does anxiety feel like? How do I know if I'm having anxiety?
Compared to stress.
To stress.
Okay. Anxiety...
You're having the two things, so I want to know the difference between those.
Okay. Stress... You have good stress and you have bad stress. Okay. Different people handle stress differently.
Okay.
Okay. Stress can also be stress in relationship.
Yeah.
You can be stressed in your financial situation. You can be stressed in your job situation. So that is stress. Anxiety, again, as I say, it's unfear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but anxiety can lead to stress.
Okay.
Okay.
But now you talked about this good stress and bad stress.
Yes.
Is there good anxiety or bad anxiety? Or
No,
is it not?
definitely not.
So
it's only bad
anxiety is
anxiety,
So anxiety is not meant
It's
to
not
be-
meant to be have.